right, welcome to Minion's Opinions, Week 4 of the 2022-2023 NFL season.
Yeah.
All right, man, we're back at it. Coming off a 3-3 week last week for a total, a season record of 8-13-1.
Yep.
Time to make up some ground.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
It sucks. We hit the game of the week easy. We had Tennessee team plus. We bought it from the 2 to the 9. It wasn't even, that was a no-doubter. We were up, 14-0 early, 14-3, 21-3.
One of those games that you didn't even have to put on.
No, didn't have to worry about. There are 3 losses for the Jaguars. Unbelievably shocking how bad that was. Now could be the Herbert.
So the Chargers, the Chargers went down to the Jaguars. Was it 38-10 or something ridiculous?
Just bad. So something's wrong there. One we were stuck in from the Herbert play from the Thursday night.
He's hurting. He's hurting.
Yeah, something was wrong there. Can't believe they still played him all the way late in the fourth quarter. And then the other loss was the Bills. We lost by a half point there.
Bills did not pay the Bills this week, unfortunately. Or last week, yes.
Tough goal, because, by all stats, we'll talk about that with this Miami and Thursday game, but real tough when you
let's jump into it, man.
Yeah, sure.
They smoked them on yards. It was 500 to 200.
Yeah,
they were just working them up and down the field, and it was just unfortunate.
90 plays to 30 or so, 40 minutes possession to 20. Just a complete domination.
You win those games 99 out of 100 times.
Easily. So very frustrating. Even more frustrating seeing stupid Miami fans already yapping this week. Yeah. Listen, all respect to Miami. Good team.
Good outing by Miami.
Those yardage that looked like Alabama versus a JUCO team, 500 to 212.
When it came, they had their opportunities, obviously. They missed a couple field goals. That one, gaff play at the end of the half where Allen kind of fumbled it. It should have been a spike down for a field goal.
Now, let me explain it to you, team, because I learned something, too, in that game. So, what happened there, because we thought, what the heck happened? And I learned listening to Bill's radio, so even I'm learning stuff now, is when he fumbled that ball, when he was going to intentionally spike it, he fumbled it. He thought that if he threw down for an intentional grounding, it would be counted as a fumble, and because that's non-genuine. So Allen actually was thinking, because he thought, oh crap, I fumbled it. If I just spike this now, it's going to go down as a fumble, or they're just going to kill the time. But apparently, listening to the rule books, they had some referees come on that it would still have been a legitimate in the ground, just a spiking. The Bills would have been able to stop the clock, but at least Allen was thinking. Apparently, Diggs had no idea on the play that the ball was coming to him. So it was kind of our quarterback thinking, oh, crap, what's he fumbling? That quick thinking, though, to think, crap, if I throw this down, it's a fumble.
But that was just one play out of, many things.
We have a missed field goal. We have a Milano missed pick 6. We have the missed throw by Allen at the end.
Yeah.
It was just that there's a fumble that Miami scored from the 2 that gave them. The big play, 3rd and 22, Miami hit that long bomb, which if we had our normal safeties back there, has never happened. The Bills have not given up a 50-yard play in 2+ years because our safeties just don't get beat like that. So,
for sure,
guys, if you're a Bills fan out there, don't worry. They beat us with our practice squad. Yeah. And Allen made some misses there, but...
For me, it was just a game that I couldn't really get into. I was hyped about it all week, but there was so many injuries, so many stoppages. There was no rhythm or flow to the game at all.
It was awful.
Where it was just really frustrating to watch.
It was.
And the elements came into it, obviously. And that's not an excuse. That's every team deals with that in football. But they were playing in 100-degree heat. Yeah. And the Bills were just
the other thing we learned with that Miami, how they did
that was actually kind of cool.
It is kind of different, but we learned that. So that's... And listening to Sal Capaccio, Bill's radio, down the sidelines, he was going sideline to sideline, and they were asking him. And even for him, he was saying it was 15 degrees difference.
Diggs couldn't even get on the field for the final plays.
Listening to Diggs this week, he said on radio that he had never felt, he was on the Pat McAfee show, and he said he has never felt those, his whole body was convulsing with cramps. In his whole career, he's never felt this way. So, because we needed him for props, it went over the receptions, but we were like, get back out there, brother.
Hey, good to take the loss early in the season. I mean, now let's circle this next Miami game in Buff. It's going to hopefully be a beatdown.
And as Von Miller said, this is good medicine. He came out and said he was so floored with the talent. Even he got caught up thinking this could be an undefeated season. But he said this is good medicine for this team. They get some guys healthy back. Dane Jackson is back this week after that crazy neck injury. Trey White's a few weeks away. For the Bills, for fans, it's kind of our segment that we're talking now. They just got to survive this crazy early schedule. At Rams, they came out Tennessee, at Miami, at Baltimore, home to Pittsburgh easy, but then at Kansas City, then home to Green Bay. You survive that, then there's like 10 games in a row that are simple. The hardest game after that is at home to Minnesota and Cleveland. We could do this. Or at Cincinnati. So you can rip off 10 in a row. If they could get through this stretch at like 5-2, we could be looking at a nice 15-2, 14-3 season. It'd be great for my overs with everything. Don't worry about it.
All right, well, let's get on to week 4 picks.
Yeah.
We have we've listed, I think, 3 picks that we really want to stay away from this week. We got some great ones to choose that we'll get into in a minute. But the stay away plays, just across the board, our advice is just do not touch these. Do not include these in any of your parlays that you're building through teasers or, straight up money line picks, whatever it may be. Just a lot of things that we do not like about these picks. So the first one, we have 2 teams traveling to the UK. I believe it's going to be a 9:30 a.m. Eastern start time. We got the Vikings and the Saints. There's injuries on both sides of these teams. I believe Dalvin Cook is questionable and I think leaning to be out for that game. Jameis Winston, I believe, is out on the Saints. Michael Thomas is hobbled. Olave is playing great as a rookie, by the way, for the Saints. But just too much uncertainty in this game. Anything else to add to that?
No, sorry, team. I really wanted to get on this because it is an early game.
It's a fun one to get. I know.
I wanted to include this. Remember to set your rosters. Maybe this is a good thing to get the pot out now. A reminder because people do get screwed. They wake up and see, and there would be big players in that. Cook could be out. I'm sure a lot of people have Jefferson, Thomas.
For fantasy,
for fantasy stuff. For me personally, I did. This is besides the point, but early this week I did do 5 teasers, and I put Dallas on every single one with the Giants. For me personally, I did have Dallas sided with New Orleans. I do like the New Orleans from +2.5 to +9.5 here. Remember, team, I do have New Orleans on over-season wins, so I will be cheering for them here. But again, I'm going to stay away. I'm not going to use your money on here. That's it. It's just going to be a fun game to get up and watch. That's
Fair enough. The second one we identified was the Titans at the Colts. So both these teams started the season very, very slow. A lot of high expectations for both. They both picked up a W last week, which was great. But they're playing in division right now. I feel like we just don't know who these teams really are at this point. It can go anywhere.
And what we're going to do, we're going to tie this line that was back with the with Indianapolis and KC last week and how it kind of affects tonight's game. Okay, and we'll kind of do a comparison there. Interdivision here, Tennessee usually goes into Indianapolis and wins. I don't know why, but we're going to stay away from this game here for sure.
Cool. And then probably one of the grosser games on the board is the Bears at the Giants. I mean, the Giants have been kind of fun to watch with Brian Dable coming over from the Bills and leading the charge there. Saquon looks like he's back to his best self, which is really, really exciting. And, you can't help but cheer for the Bears and Justin Fields and what they are doing over there. But again, just 2 teams that don't really have an identity at this point. I feel like the Giants are a little overvalued at the moment. So,
what's the line in that one? Do you know? Do we know?
Don't.
Because while he's looking at the Bears, it's
Giants at home -3.
-3. So the Bears right now are like setting records for the amount they're running. They're running like it's like the 1960s.
David
NFL.
Montgomery is looking good.
They are. Well, Montgomery's out now. Now they're running this Herbert kid.
Oh, damn.
Ran for 150.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that if he hasn't picked up in your leagues, grab him.
Oh, you gone.
I would stay away from almost all Chicago wide receivers. They're not running the ball at all. They're saying that the offense is having a lot of trouble. Fields isn't understanding it well, but they're running it well. Maybe look towards an under in this game. A lot of both teams can't really score. They have good defenses, and Chicago is just running it. Yeah, you don't want to watch this. If it's at 1 o'clock, you're going to want to watch Buffalo, Baltimore. That's your play or the game to watch this week. And just stay away.
Awesome. All right, man. Let's jump into what we do like going into this crucial week. We have the opportunity to get back above 500 and get some wind in our sails. So let's jump into it. What do you like?
Okay. This is tough to say, team, because a couple weeks ago I was on here trashing these Bengals and not saying that I wanted to play them. But there's reasons behind this. Sometimes you just look at these lines and you see it's like seeing the Matrix. You could just understand it. You see something that I've been watching for years of football, and it just makes sense. Tonight, we are going play of the week, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wow.
Wow. We are taking that from the -3.5 to the +3.5. We're even going to have a play with them on straight money line.
All right, man. Well, why the Bengals? We were shit-talking them a couple of weeks ago. They screwed us for, I don't know if it was a play of the week, but they really hurt us somewhere. It might have been a survivor or
something. It was the Dallas. They could have scored 8
that's right.
When we could have gone 8-0-1. This is their redemption.
Right. That's the team. Yeah, that's the team that put us behind the 8 ball here, bro.
We would be crushing it right now. So
give me the reason why. Okay. I got to challenge you here because we just saw this play out in front of our eyes a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So team, this is more of a play against Dolphins here instead of loving Bengals. We are getting a team on a short week. So Miami is traveling. Miami has gone through all the kind of hurricane stuff. They haven't practiced. They had to leave Miami right away.
Love that's getting baked into this.
They have been in Cincinnati all week because they had to get there early. They haven't been able to practice properly because they got someone was videotaping them at the university, so they were doing all this weird stuff. The NFL is looking into it. And Miami was practicing with 13 guys on offense just to throw off this recorder. We have their safeties are out. We have Howard is hurt. We have Tua who knows what's going on.
He's a little hobbled. Yeah.
We have a team that just is coming off an emotional high with Buffalo. We have a team that is giving up the most pass per plays for. So if they don't get to the quarterback and get him, they are not good against pass heavy offenses. Which look at the weapons in Cincinnati. The final and last key here. Okay, this is everything. This is where I see the Matrix, and it happened last week. Let's start with that. Kansas City was a 5.5, looking like world beaters going into Indianapolis, who looked like absolute dog crap.
Yeah.
Everything screamed, take Kansas City. And what happened? Indy beats them straight up. And this game, 3.5. If it's too easy, when you look at it, when I talk to friends and they look at it right away, they say, it's a no-brainer. Why? I'm taking Miami. It's an instant, easy win. It's easy money. Vegas is begging you to take that line. And when Vegas is begging you and it looks like a too fishy, too good to be true.
It's a trap game.
It's a trap game, okay? Yep. And that's what we call them fish bets, okay? Everything in the world is telling you to bet Miami. They're 3-0. They look great. They just beat friggin' Buffalo. They look like a high offense. Cincinnati has they lost to Pittsburgh, who looks awful. They couldn't beat Dallas. They barely beat Jets. They didn't look that great last week. Everything is screaming Miami, but yet why is the line 3.5? Something, you have to read this kind of stuff. Vegas knows they have the money. Okay, so what we're doing here, Cincinnati isn't going to be on every play, but they're going to be on a lot of plays that we have here.
Okay, so again, just to dig into that a little bit more. Yeah. So you're bringing the line from Cincinnati -3.5 to +3.5.
That's right. Team.
Why wouldn't you consider going Dolphins from +3.5 to +10.5?
Good question.
What's the thought there?
And that is a great question. I really do think if I had to answer that, I think you could go both ways, hit it both ways. Where Dolphins probably, you're right, the 10.5 is good. But we've seen these games kind of get out of hand once in a while. Where
here's what I found on the internet.
Let's look at a great example. When you and me were talking about we went opposite Vikings and Eagles.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
That's right. Yeah.
So it's one of these kind of games because I said to you, I bet Adrian went with Vikings, and I thought that would cover too, and you got at like 10 or 11 points there. Just have a bad feeling. I just like this. Generally on Thursday, the home team shows up. It's short week. Miami's got to be beat from that Buffalo game.
Yeah.
They just had 90
it could be a
plays,
blowout,
man. They were on 40. Yeah. I would lean more to a blowout than
keeping it close.
And remember, we're one bad hit for Tua away from him being gone.
That's true.
I really don't believe it's his back. I do think it's head. We all saw he was knocked out, man.
Yep.
He was worse than UFC fighters. I can't believe the NFL let this kid back into play. That looked so disgusting on them.
Okay.
And we're one bad hit from him being out. The only thing I'm concerned about is Miami with the blitz. This Cincinnati line has to hold up. If they can hold up, since he has the weapons, they will just pass this team to death.
Awesome. Plus, they got a whiteout happening tonight.
If you haven't seen the jerseys,
and the helmet are slick. Yeah. But all the fans, I believe, is doing a whiteout in the stadium. That's my understanding, anyway. But should be a good game.
Yeah.
I mean, your Minion's opinions. I'm rolling with you.
Yeah.
You're the master. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Let's. How are we attaching to?
Okay, with the teams here. Okay, so again, team, we're going Cincinnati across the board. Let's start with just the Cincinnati money line. We're gonna throw in a college play here, and I need as many people betting on this too for great juju. If you don't know, Adrian and I are huge Michigan fans. We're going down to Michigan October 15th. See Penn State play. It looks like it's going to be a top 10 game. Michigan is at Iowa this week. If they can win that game, they're going to roll in as a 4. Penn State will probably be an 8 or a 9. It'd be insane. We have third row seats. It's going to just be epic. We'll probably bring a Minion's Opinion pod maybe from the golf course that we tailgate right across. The University of Michigan has a golf course right across the way. It's amazing. You park and tailgate on the fairway. Luscious. Anyway, we are going to Cincinnati money line with a Michigan straight money line. Michigan plays Saturday at noon. They're a huge favorite. They're minus 11. But if you pair those together, just straight wins, it'll pay about even odds.
Nice. Okay.
Right,
man.
That's our first one. Now we're going Cincinnati from the minus 3.5 to plus 3.5. Cincinnati with Rams. We're taking the Rams from a plus 1.5 to a plus 8.5 at the Niners. That's, I believe, it's the Monday night game.
Yep.
Division, too close. Cincinnati plus 3.5 and Buffalo plus 4. I love the Buffalo. We had it at plus. It was minus 3.5 Buffalo, but it's just gone down to 3. So I love it getting it all the way up to the 4 instead of that 3.5. Huge.
Do we have a lot of players coming back this week on the Buff side? Because obviously
Center should be back.
So Morse is back. Okay.
Dane Jackson should be back. Gabe Davis is back. It doesn't look great, but of all
is
the
Ed
teams,
Oliver back? We need someone.
Don't know. He's limited practice. I know Harrison Phillips is hurt.
Or Jordan Phillips.
Jordan Phillips.
Yeah.
The one thing at least with Buffalo, they'd be the only team over the years to contain Lamar. They beat him in every way. They beat him in playoffs. He's the one quarterback that he has the worst rating against. So McDermott and Frazier at least get this team prepared. I don't know how it's going to go with all the backups in.
Well, new signing of Xavier Rhodes. Is he expected to go?
I don't know.
Okay.
I saw him practicing, but that's a reach, right? If he's in, wow, that'd be keeping himself in good game shape.
Rhodes closed.
If we could get Dane Jackson back and Elam show that he can hold up, then we might be okay here. And then we have Milano against Andrews, which I like.
Nice.
So we have, so Cincinnati and Rams, Cincinnati and Buffalo, Cincinnati and Green Bay. We're bringing Green Bay at home against this dirty. Yeah, this is more of an Adrian play. We're taking Green Bay from the 9.5 or the 9, whatever you get, down to the 2 or the 2.5 at home against the backup New England quarterback. Let's roll with that.
I mean, just win, baby. Come on, less than a field goal. Let's go here. Yeah. I feel like that's a no-brainer in Lambeau.
Cincinnati and Denver. I like the Denver at Vegas. I was still calling them Oakland. From the +2 to a +9.5. I like it both ways. You could even do Vegas the other way, but I like getting over a touchdown with Denver. Great defense. They're going to keep it in the game. Again, an interdivisional game. Cincinnati again with the Eagles. We're bringing the Eagles from the -6.5 down to a pick'em at home against Jacksonville. There is revenge here with the Jacksonville quarterback, Peterson. Coaching against the Eagles who let him go. But at the same time, different scheme, different quarterback, different players.
I just like Philly right now. Man.
They
look great. Jalen Hurts just looks like he's running a great offense.
Yeah,
he's got that locker room.
And you got to beat Jacksonville at home. Like this could sure up. Remember, team, I told you the most sure play that I had was the Eagles over season wins. I needed 8.5 or 9 or something like that. Low. Yeah. And this could be a 4-0. Remember, I told you, team, they have the easiest schedule in the league. So they still have all these easy games. They still have the Giants a couple times. So this looks good. And then we have, so that's all our Cincinnati. Cincinnati and Rams, Cincinnati and Buffalo, Cincinnati and Green Bay, Cincinnati and Denver, Cincinnati and Eagles. And then we went off without Cincinnati. We went Buffalo +4 with Arizona +8. Arizona is at Carolina. That's a dirt game.
Yeah, that
is dirt. If I'm getting over a touchdown, for sure, that'll be just garbage. And that might be it.
I think there was a KC.
Buffalo and KC. Yes, sorry. Buffalo +4 with KC +7. The pick'em here, you could almost go Tampa or KC. Should be a close game. It's Sunday Night Football. I like KC rebounding after last week. They really did dominate Indy. It's almost like a
Bucks are rebounding too, though.
Yeah,
right?
the 14-12, but something's wrong there. Again, it's that line. If you don't have a line, like Buffalo lost their center, and that's why Adrian was asking about is Morse back. He is the kind of unsung hero where we saw snaps that went wrong, like all this stuff. Like Maybe that's why Buffalo on 3rd and 4th and 1s didn't rush with Josh Allen because they're worried about this Van Ruten guy as their center.
Who also went down, and then they brought in a third stringer on top of that. So,
yeah. If you're Buffalo, I can't hate that play. You outgained them almost 3-1. The plays were 3-1. The time was 2-1. We killed them. Yeah. And Miami needed, again, another reason with Miami. I listening to Buffalo radio and why they can't get behind it. Because if you actually break down Miami, they've had 5 good quarters this whole year. They played a couple good quarters against New England. They only scored 1 offensive touchdown. They played 1 good quarter against Buffalo, and they played only 1 good quarter against Baltimore. They were down with 35-7 or 35-14 going into the 4th. They're getting their butts kicked, and then they played 1 good quarter.
You're just hating on Miami right now.
I hate them. I hate them most, and their fans are going off. We got to put them back in their place. Hopefully Cincy does it today, team.
All right. This is a spite pick, I feel.
Yeah, okay. I know. So quick recap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays versus Cincinnati Moneyline in Michigan. Get on that, please. That's our Michigan Juju bet. Then we're going Cincinnati Rams, Cincinnati Buffalo, Cincinnati Green Bay, Cincinnati Denver, Cincinnati Eagles, and then outside of Cincinnati, Buffalo, Arizona, Buffalo, Kansas City. These are all 7-point teasers on each game.
Awesome.
Other than the one Cincinnati, Michigan. Those are just straight up bet.
Well, we're going to know Thursday night in a couple hours if we are in a good spot for the week. So stay tuned. We'll be chirping on social. Yeah. Maybe we'll throw out some additional picks as we get into Sunday and Monday. But let's get after it, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
We'll see you next week.